right here.
Okay.
It's becoming increasingly difficult. Well, the situation here then extremely volatile, potentially very dangerous, and now Russia talking about the need for dialogue in Ukraine between the East and the Western country. The government of Ukraine, though, saying
We're going to grab a board.
Okay.
here in the east of the country.
No, some news from the local election campaign. Slightly unusual news. A woman who fell ill in Harrow in northwest London was comforted today by the Prime Minister and the Mayor of London.
You see okay here? Yeah, you can see that.
Okay. So what's the matter with this board right now?
This board here, I'm not going to put the chip on, but it's ready to put the chip on. I took the chip off already.
Okay.
So I'm just going to show you how this lines it up.
Is that a BGA chip, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like you're asking me about the other shuttle star machines, I have to look at the model number.
Okay.
Some of them don't have the split vision system. The split vision is the camera and the mirrors that you can line up your component.
Okay.
And the only ones I sell are the ones that split vision. They have the optical, so you can see the component on the board. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. Shuttlestar has like probably about 6 to 10 of these different types of split vision systems.
Okay.
And I only sell 3 of them. So I don't want to get into doing a lot of different types, supporting a lot of different types of systems.
Okay, so you just want to
I sell the 3 systems that I think are the best and the most for your money.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the screen up so you can see it here.
Okay, so that camera actually kind of zooms into the chip, right?
Yeah, I have to loosen this up. Yeah, we'll show you that in a second. Let me get this so I can tilt the machine up towards you. That's better. So I'm just going to scoot this up so you can watch on the screen what I'm doing.
Okay. Did you see to the resolution of your camera to get it a bit better?
This one here, it's not going to look as clear on the screen because my computer camera is not that great. But you can see the pads are real clear on here.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and... This unit here is about a year old. The newer units come with a larger monitor too now. So this is the smaller monitor, but it works fine for what. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I've been using it for. This one's our floor model. So I've been using this about a little over a year for doing demos. So what you got is you can see the board. This is the board with the chip off.
Okay.
I've got it on zoomed out now, so I have it so you can see the whole chip. Zoom in.
Okay, so does that tell you the dead pixels on there?
Yeah, are you able to see that? Oh yeah, there we are. So yeah, so you can zoom in. These are the pads. So what was your question?
No, so are those dead or something like that?
No, this board I've taken the chip off. Okay. I've cleaned the solder off the BGA pads.
Okay.
So now this is the circuit board. Now it's ready to put the chip on.
Okay, fantastic. Okay.
So what if I was going to put the chip on? I'm not ready to put this on yet, but I'm going to show you how it lines up. And I will put flux on here. I put the chip on the board. We'll pick it up. So now it's going to go ahead. It's going to pick up the chip.
Okay. So what happens is, I've been training people for about 20 years, and everybody comes for the training. I used to do a lot of larger companies, but nowadays it's all people that are starting their business or they're in computer repair, cell phone repair, stuff like that, and they're like, yeah, they want to buy the machine. And so, like I say, before these machines came out, they're only the expensive machines on the market, so there's nothing anybody can afford. So now that I'm doing the training, when they come in, if they like the machine, I have a machine they can buy now. Whereas 5 years ago, there wasn't anything really that good on the market that was under $40,000. So
yeah,
he's still a real good niche. It's good timing. So anyway, we picked up our chip. It's up here. I'm gonna pull the camera back out, and what we're gonna do is I've got my board in focus. Now I have to focus my solder balls.
Okay.
So I'll bring out my adjustment here. There we go. So I'm going to put this offline a little bit. So what you're going to see here, this is my solder ball. This is my circuit board pad. Okay. So what you do,
Okay.
it looks at the bottom of the chip and the top of the circuit board at the same time.
Okay.
What I want to do is I want to line them up. Once it's lined up, I'm going to go to the upper left-hand corner of the chip here. I want to make sure this upper left-hand ball is lined up.
Okay.
I'm just moving over here. You can see circuit board pad, solder ball.
Okay.
Line it over. This is the upper left. Got pin 1 there. I'm going to go to the upper right. You see how that's a little bit off? The chip's sort of tilted, so we have like a Z-axis. We'll adjust it right here. We can turn the chip around by this knob. I'm just going to put that in place. We go back to the other side and check. Make sure it's still lined up. Looks pretty good. The chip's not crooked anymore. So I go down the side, make sure it's all lined up. It's looking pretty good, so we're just going to go to the center. This is the center of the chip. I'm just going to go do a little bit of. Like I say, you can't see it. I don't think it actually doesn't look too bad, but with this video, what do you call it? What do you call these cameras? The web cameras, they're not as high a resolution, so you're not going to see as great, but you can see what it does is there's a yellow light for the circuit board, and there's a blue light for the solder balls. So you can see the little aura there with the balls in the center of the pad. So it's lined up now.
Okay.
This has a real good zoom.
Okay.
You can zoom in really close. You can zoom up pretty far. Be able to zoom in close is good. But anyway, the important thing is my chip is lined up on the pads 100%. And then all I have to do is place it. And then if I was going to go in heat up the chip to melt the solder, then I would put the nozzle back on. This is the upper nozzle, has a bottom nozzle, has perimeter heat. And then I would go ahead and I would just do the sequence to heat the chip up and melt it. So the machine, lifting up, putting down, aligning the chip, that's all pretty simple. The thing that you have to get trained at is how to set up the different heat profiles for different boards, different chips.
Yeah. Now, so how do you know what heat profile it is?
That's what you got to learn how to do it out of your head. That's what I teach you. It's pretty simple. When you come in, what we do is we'll set up some profiles for the boards. I should have some PS3s around here, Xboxes, and we set up initial profiles.
Each motherboard is different, isn't it?
Huh?
Each motherboard is different.
Yeah, so you're gonna have a little bit like some boards are gonna take more heat, some boards are gonna take less heat, depending on how big the chip is and how big the board is, how thick the board is. So yeah, you'll range in how much bottom heat you use, how much top heat you use, how much perimeter heat, and that's all that stuff is like I say, putting the chip on and lining it up and taking it off is easy. It's learning how to do those temperature profiles and set them up that takes time to learn. That's why it's we work on a 3-day class. We used to do 2-day classes, but it's too short. 2 days isn't enough time to take everything in.
Okay. Now, so what I'm saying is now, so like, I'll give you an example. Like, I had a Mac come in, it was completely dead. There was no power on it. So like, what I'm saying is, how do I know what's dead? What do I know what's dead on the machine? Like, so I bought the machine now, spend a lot of money. I'm back in London. How do I know which chip is dead on the motherboard?
That's gonna be like you need that's a whole nother training. We don't do the troubleshooting, so the troubleshooting, you know, is what you're gonna be doing. So at my company, we don't troubleshoot the boards. The customers already figured out what's wrong with the board, and they just send them to us to change the chip out.
Yeah, that's it. See, that's the question.
So that's what.
That's it.
Yeah, you just learn that by trying different things out. Like say normally, you know, it's like on a Xbox, on a PS3, or on a laptop computer. Normally, it's the video chip that goes out, but sometimes, you know, it can be the GPU that went out, and then there's little SIM chips that go around them. I talked to the guy, and you know, sometimes he's reworked both of the big chips, and that didn't help, and then he figured out it was the SIM chips that were bad. There's no real way, you know, you can actually troubleshoot except for going through the factory codes and hoping that those will steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, you see, that's what I understand what you mean, Dennis. But what I'm saying is here, but for me to get to a level of sending the machine out to them, everything has been tested. Like the machine's been completely stripped. It's out of the motherboard. I'm trying to turn the machine on. It's just completely dead. Now the lesson for me to put it on the machine like this, which I do not have. Does that make sense? Because no matter the time, if I look into my papers, like on the old, like okay, the one I've got back from them, like this one, okay, this is a DC jack replacement, which I do myself now. There's so many. Sometimes they'll come back with the IC was replaced on the motherboard. Does that make sense? Yeah, so they'll come back with IC was replaced on the motherboard, or just let me see. I'm just looking at old receipts so I can have a look. You see there, internal tracks causing shortening. I don't know what that means.
Internal tracks?
Yeah, they said internal tracks causing shortening. Do you know what that is?
That usually means you might have a short between your solder balls or a short between the traces. That means there's a short somewhere, you know, on the board.
Okay. Okay. Now you see like this one, tempered net DC jacks. You see the you say DV6, HP DV6. Controller circuit faulty. You see that?
So you're sending these boards out, and where you're sending them, they're troubleshooting it for you.
Yeah, no, I send the entire machine to them. Is it like a sister company? Because I'm a company, we do this everything, but because they have this machine, they able to do to the company board level. Okay, so I'm trying to eliminate to make, as you understand, I want to be the guy that does everything. Does that make sense as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I take it to them, when I send the machine to them, the machine is intact. They strip it down. They'll do whatever they do. But when they send the machine back to me, they'll come back to me and say, machine is working perfectly fine, or the machine is completely dead. So if they come back to me and say the machine is dead, that means it's unfixable. The cost of repair will be more than it's worth. Does that make sense? Now, like, you know, so these are just old jobs that Apple, Mac, controller circuit faulty, internal tracks not responding. That means that there's no change. No fix, that's a no fix, no fee. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds like they have some type of, they call in-circuit test machines, or some companies will have machines where they'll plug it in and it'll do electrical tests automatically.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, electrical test.
So yes, so you're gonna, like I say, either you're gonna try and figure out how to troubleshoot the stuff in your head, or you're gonna need to see what type of equipment they're using, and to actually do what they're doing, you need the equipment. I go into some companies now, they have machines and they'll plug the board in, and like in 20 seconds, it tells you what's wrong with the board. It tells you, you know, change out this chip, or it'll tell you it has a short here. So troubleshooting them is a different ball game. Yeah. So this machine's your second step. This machine's going to take your parts off, put them back on. But your first step, if you want a machine, is to get a machine that will do the troubleshooting.
All right. Is there machines that can do that?
I'd have to see what boards you're, what systems you're using. So.
Yeah, because I get a whole bunch of machines in all sorts of different machines.
Yeah.
Like laptops, HP, Dell, everything comes in. Does that make sense?
You'd have to. You haven't been the company that you sent it to. You never been on a tour yet, or
Say that again?
the company where you send the stuff to now. You've never been on an in-house tour.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, you'd have to find out what they're using. I mean, some companies may have machines. Other companies may have technicians sitting at the bench just troubleshooting stuff, for the bench that know everything. But every board is different. It's it's hard to get one machine to fix one board. So I work with companies that they do like Cisco boards, and same thing. They don't have the test machines. They have technicians to sit there and they just debug. And they figure, well, this is the problem, and based on their experience, they figure, well, this is most likely the components are bad, and they change it and see if we can get it working.
Yeah,
it's not as concise. It's not as concise as the company you're using right now.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You've got complex requirement. Like I said, that's a little ways to go to get to the troubleshooting end of it. It's not real easy.
See, that's a stumbling block there, because I don't mind. Yeah. I do not mind about the training. You know what I mean? I would like to get the training, but the most important thing is to know how to. I've seen a couple of in London. Yeah, I've seen a couple of companies in the UK for they go get you to electronic trainings and stuff like that. Because there's no point me buying the $14,000 machine and and the bank is chasing me. Where's our money? And I'm not making any money. Does that make sense?
Right. So most of the people right now that are coming here for training, they're doing the troubleshooting, just like I said, guessing or diagnosing. The companies that do what they call in-circuit tests that have the machines that plug in and diagnose, those are usually big companies, and they're working with specific, high-end boards. Like you normally won't find a company that's going to plug in an Xbox and tell you it's wrong. That's going to be a guesswork. But if you're dealing on higher-end systems, then certain companies will have test units for the higher-end systems.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you. Yeah, sure. Okay. I appreciate your time. Let me. I'll look at.
So what I can do is I'll shoot you a few emails. I'll introduce you to a few people that are working on higher-end boards. Maybe they can give you a little information on what they do for troubleshooting to get you in the right direction.
That would be. If you could do that as soon as possible, I'll be very grateful, sir.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, I appreciate that, then. I'll definitely get back to you. Okay.
Okay, sounds great.
You have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was a nice conversation. So we'll recap on that a little bit. And what happens is, if you're working at a Selextron, Flextronics, a company that rebuilds these large boards, larger companies have machines they call ICT, in-circuit test. And they'll have all the software and programs set up specific for that model number board, where they can connect the board up. In 10, 20 seconds, it goes through and it tells you, oh, you have a short under U1, or U25 is bad, or you're open. Those are really expensive machines, and they're specific to the circuit board that you're using. So, if I'm a guy that's fixing Sony PlayStations, Apple laptops, stuff like that, it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to get a machine that I'm going to plug my board in and troubleshoot. You said it's a guesswork. Those type of systems, they have common problems. Like I said, it's usually the video chip. Most of them maybe be the memory chip. People that are troubleshooting those probably have more experience than me on that. So if you're doing any troubleshooting, this is a good thing. Please chime in. Please make comments. Our company does not do troubleshooting. We specifically focus on installing chips, moving chips, looking at process issues. Our clients, we do a lot of product development, and so they're brand new boards, and they're brand new boards, brand new chips, and it's failing. And it's unlikely the board's bad. It's unlikely the chip is bad. It's usually somewhere in the assembly process and the soldering process that went wrong. And so we see issues with, like I say, if you're working with BGA, you see cold solder joints, you see head and pillow, incomplete refill, bridging, but more complex in the process. If the right materials, the right fluxes are used, especially with lead-free, they create oxidation in the process. So you may have something that looks perfectly good visually, something that looks perfectly good on X-ray, and it's failing, and when you take the chip off, you'll find that you have some plating issues. You could have black pad in your gold plating that's causing an oxidation and an electrical open. That will not show up visually. That will not show up on X-ray. Most likely won't even show up when you do cross-section. It's such a thin layer of oxidation. You can get oxidation on your BGA chips caused by the lead-free solder when it's being refilled to the chip, not getting enough flux in the upper part of the joint. So there's a lot of process issues, and our clients want to know, hey, where in the process are these chips failing? Is it a heat issue? Is it a profile issue? Is it a surface plating issue? Is it a chip plating issue? Is it a process issue with the products that we're using, like fluxes? And then if we can, we'll diagnose what the issue is, and then we'll suggest a remedy. We'll apply our remedy to it, and if it works, then we've concluded, that our process solution will work, and then we pass the process solution back on them, what they need to do in the way of heat profile process. Should they use vapor phase, nitrogen? Should they use a different type of flux? Should they use a different type of solder plates? So we're all process. I say I get a lot of people here that I started new businesses. They're doing cell phone repair, computer repair, Cisco networking board repair, stuff like that, and they have to figure out a way to troubleshoot. Like say when you get into the laptop computers and the PlayStation type stuff, that's a hit and miss. You sort of go out and you try this component, try that component, you go off the error codes that they may be giving, and then after you do about 10 or 20 of the machines, you start getting a feel for what chip is bad when you plug it in and see what it's doing. So that's a whole different area. And then, like I say, if you're going to troubleshoot anything, then you start going back into taking specific classes. If I want to be able to troubleshoot any board, then I need to go get at least an AS in electrical engineering, how to be a technician. You maybe go to DeVry, learn how to troubleshoot all the components on a board. That takes years to start troubleshooting at the component level to learn how to do that. There are classes that you go to on cell phone repair that show you how to repair the cell phones. They'll tell you what chips are going bad for what specific issues. So troubleshooting is going to be something you learn on your own, hit or miss, or you're going to take a specific course specific to the product that you're working on. Like say, if you want to do a full range of products, then you're going to get yourself a device certificate on doing electrical, technical type work, where you get into the design, troubleshooting, and testing stuff at the component level. So I hope that answers all your questions. We're going to move along, and then I say if anybody else has any questions, you can type them in later, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Okay, so let's take a little different view here. Let's start working over here on this other machine. Let's see. So now we're just Facebooking, doing some Facebook texting here. I'm not Facebook, Skype texting. So I try to do the live broadcast, that way I can get everybody at one time. And then we're also available by Skype. While I'm doing the live broadcast, I prefer that you text message me if you're going to text on Skype or text on the live broadcast. Okay. So, what I'm going to need to do here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I think I got to get my picture going here. Let's see. Should be lined up. Well, it's time for me to get to work here. So you can watch as I work, and when anybody come online, just let me know if you have a question. That's better. You know, as you heat these components up all the time, the flux is burning off. It gets up in the lenses. So you might clean your lenses once in a while. You'll see they'll get a little smoky. I'm going to pull some parts off these boards here. Got a heat sensitive LED. We're going to put some tape on. And the heat sensitive connector in the corner here. We're going to tape on. fellow that called earlier is from Europe. I said that fellow that called earlier is from Europe. Well, he just wants to buy it. He's thinking about buying a machine, but he wants to know more about troubleshooting. Or he buys a machine, he has more software systems that he works on. All right, just to drive the camera running now. So I'm on. Yeah, I'm on my TV. What I'm doing here today, this board, well, the gold looks really pretty, but it has poor gold plating. I'll put some flux over here. Grab my solder tip about 700 F. I'm just going to let it be the solder on the side here. So I just ran a bead of solder down this row here, up and down. You can see there's a lot of gold there. The solder did not stick. With a board that has good plating, the solder should just, especially if it's good gold plating, the solder should just stick like that. It should stick like butter. So here what we're doing is, what happens when they put these chips on, the solder, since it has poor plating, the BGA ball is not adhering to the board. So what we have to do is we have to treat these and clean out all the bad plating and get them to wet the solder before we can put the chip on. So when you're using the gold plating process with the circuit boards, it's important that you have a vendor with good quality. The quality varies from vendor to vendor, so you don't just want to go and switch vendors and change vendors because they gave you a better price. Either that lower price means lower quality. A real common issue is with this, if you've been having gold plated boards and your process yield has been pretty consistent with relatively few defects. And then a real common occurrence is when people start running production, and then they'll tell me, well, I have a 40 or 50% yield. There's a 40 or 50% drop in the pass rate. This is usually going to be a sign of a gold plating, nickel plated issue. And that's when then you want to go back and look, did somebody switch the vendors? Did my vendor switch the process? If your vendor's not keeping their nickel bath clean, it will cause contamination in the nickel plating, which will cause this problem. There are a number of things that can cause the problem, but again, it gets into having a good quality vendor. I've seen people switch their vendors and thinking they're getting a great deal on them when they got the boards of the solder. The gold looks beautiful, but the solder won't stick for anything. The other thing is, this is an issue that happens a lot with electrolytic plating. Usually will not occur in electrolytic plating. So electrolytic plating is usually more expensive, but it's going to give you better quality overall. You won't have to worry about the issue popping up. allergies. Bye. Bye. looking good. Let's see, what do we got to do here? Some reminders. Let's see. Oh, don't forget, we have our PCB Rework Repair class coming up near the end of the month. I think it's last week in May. I'll put a link here. This is a class we teach you how to repair the circuit board repair. We teach you how to repair surface mount pads, BGA pads, gold finger contacts, damaged laminates, anything that's board level. We also cover hand soldering skills with both lead and lead-free solder, removing and installing components. We cover all components except BGA in this class. BGA installation and removal is a class in its own, but this is a 1-week PCB repair class, and this will take you through everything you need about hand soldering, and then fix anything that may be damaged during your hand soldering process, working with all types of through-hole and surface mount components. It's a great class. This is a combination of 3 classes combined into one, so it's a 1 week. We also do have 1 and 2 day hand soldering classes where we just teach you how to hand solder with lead and lead-free and install and move surface mount through-hole components also. So as part of this week, you can sign up just for the 1 or 2 day courses, or you can sign up for the complete 1 week course. So give me a call, or if you're interested in this class. It's being given at our facility here in Oroville, California. And this is a very heavy-duty, hands-on class. You work one-on-one with myself, vice president of the company, 23 years plus experience. You work with my wife, Lon, president of the company, who has over 35 years experience. We have Mark Peasy on the board, who's got over 35 years experience, coming on board next week. So you don't get to work with people who have gone through a train-the-trainer class, and that's all they've done. You get to work with people who have actually had 20 to 30 years plus experience guiding you hands-on on how to do the job. So these are invaluable classes. I don't know any other company in the world that would offer something where you can work with the vice president, quality manager of the company, and get actual physical hands-on training. So this is well worth the money. If you're interested, give me a call. For those of you that are into technology, we'll be attending B-Lab near the end of the May here. This is an excellent technical forum at Stanford University in the Bay Area. I strongly recommend anybody that's in the area in technology, you want to learn the latest and greatest things that are going to go on in technology, or that are going to be coming up in technology 10 to 20 years from now even, and network with some fantastic people that are in the know. I recommend B-Lab. I'll put the link here. This is called right here, the bottom link, Stanford B-Lab, and this is a really good, going to be a real good form of robotics, and you'll meet some really interesting people there. I'll be there with my son and my assistant, BGA Rework technician, Jonathan O'Donnell. So anyway. Yeah.
Lord, hard, pull them out. Hey, we got 6 months to go. I don't think it's damn time to change up.
else here. Lonely afternoon. There's nobody visiting me. Look around. The sun's alive. No. Well, it's about 12 o'clock. Probably going to sign off for the day. If you need anything, you can get me on Skype. Precision PCB1 is my Skype name. So you guys have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.